Hey, it's Louisa Vala and you're watching Gatehouse Insights. I'm super excited to be joined by Ken and Brian from Hanlons, who have recently sold their legal practice. Ken and Brian, thank you for joining me today, and congratulations on selling your practice, which settled on Monday.
That's correct.
So we're here now, you've settled and you've sold your legal practice. Let's go back to the beginning of your legal career and tell us how it all began and how you formed partnership.
We're going back a little bit, but 23 years ago we were at another firm and left that and started up Hanlons.
What made you leave that?
In actual fact, it was a partnership dissolution, so divergence of ideas and views on what we should be doing for the clients.
And looking back, what got you both into law?
Wow, that's a hard question. That goes back a very long time. So, no, I think I was always interested in the law and just how things work and how it keeps society together, sort of thing. And it was interesting, you know, to see how it goes. I started off in South Africa, so it was a different system, and then came here about 30 odd years ago, and loved it ever since.
How about yourself, Ken?
And with myself, I always thought I'd either go into the law or diplomacy, so law it was because of the, stability and enjoying Melbourne culture.
From your experience, having been in partnership for 23, 24 years, can you share some of the things that have worked so well being in partnership together?
I think you've got to have a basis of trust and also accept that you're not always going to agree with each other, but you look for what the general good is for the long term for the practice.
And the clients.
Yes.
That's what the practice is about. It's looking after clients. And if you do that and do a good job or as good as you can, and they come back,
yes,
which is the main thing. And that's what we found. Not only have they come back, but they've, like a snowball, more and more. So eventually it gets, there's always only been the two of us, and we've had people working for us, but it gets quite a lot sometimes to handle it, and 7 days a week is not enough sometimes. So,
From your experience and seeing it from the older days, how things used to be done to the technology now, do you feel like law's lost a bit of the personal touch?
it depends on the sort of law that you do. I do a lot of corporate securities law and that sort of thing, and all right, you get to know the managers of the banks and all of that sort of people, but the actual work, I don't think it's lost anything, and the sort of work that Ken does, it's more person to person. So that, I don't think that's changed much.
No.
What do you do?
Do you think it will change?
If you're providing the type of service we've always provided, which has led to our success, I think you still need that personal involvement and knowledge, and being able to ask how the family is and knowing the background of your clients is very helpful. So I think that will always be a need there. The clients shouldn't be looked at as gold, silver and bronze, but as individuals who just happen to be the managing directors of companies or be successfully receiving large sums nowadays from estates or other things. So I think the personal's still going to be there.
Yeah.
Has that been one of the contributing factors of your success throughout law?
I'm sure of it, yes.
Anything else that you can pinpoint that has helped you have a successful legal career?
I think, it's the matter of, as I say, going the extra mile for the client, ensuring that there's prompt service and, nothing being too much trouble.
Yeah. And we're interchangeable to a degree. I mean, if one of us is away, it's not that we say to the people, well, oh, sorry, we can't help you now. Wait another week or two till Ken gets back or Brian gets back. It's you've got to be interchangeable and trust. It's a matter of trust, and we understand each other, and Ken understands my limitations, and
Or vice versa.
yeah.
For lawyers thinking of going into partnership with someone else, what's some advice you would give them that you wish you'd known at the beginning?
Obviously, it's sensible to research the individual or the practice to get some understanding of what their culture value is, and whether then that's going to fit in with your life beliefs.
Yeah, and I think you need a crystal ball, because who knows what's going to happen in 10 or 15 years. People change. Greed comes into it, and a lot of lawyers, you know, have a reputation for gouging clients, and we've always been reasonable, and you deal with the people that you deal with, and if they haven't got millions of dollars, well, you know, you give them the service and they're happy to pay for it. But the reputation that some lawyers have, it's not us.
What was the moment that you thought, we want to exit the practice? Can you remember that time when you thought?
I would suggest that a couple of reasons there. We were looking at succession planning, so that obviously our clients and our staff and ourselves could have an appropriate ongoing situation.
Yeah, and you know, it's a young man's world or a young person's world these days, and we found that, you know, it's good to have young people around. They have ideas, and, you know, different from ours, but it's the way of the future.
I'm sure you provide lots of wisdom and knowledge to the younger generations of lawyers, and
certainly, yeah, certainly can provide that, but it's just the enthusiasm of young people that is infectious, and clients like it, and also, you know, clients get younger as well. They, well, a lot of them have grown old with us, but you get the young generation coming in, and they're fun to work for.
Yeah. So it's rewarding, you know, having clients that are happy with what you provide.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it's sad, I think, in a way, you know, that we'll go out of it eventually, but we've had a good innings and enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, I can't think of any time that we've really had a serious disagreement, and it's just, and that's been our success, is that we've been friends all along, and
Yes.
obviously there are differences, but all resolved, and we're here, sitting as close as we are now. Not
So tell us about the sale process. How many parties were introduced to you? Were you excited, nervous, scared? Did you actually think it was going to happen?
In actual fact, Brian and I started the ball rolling probably in May of this year. And then Brian went for a nice, comfortable 5-week holiday overseas.
yeah, well, I thought I'd leave it to him, you see.
Left it to me, but
sift them all out, and then I'd come and pick the cherries off the trees, sort of thing.
So we had 24 legal practices interested, which surprised us that we created so much interest. And out of the 24, I ended up having interviews with about 5 firms, and then when Brian got back from the trip, we had second interviews with a couple of firms, 4 firms.
Yeah, narrowed down to 4 in the end.
And
John was great. He was pushing. I mean, I got back, and within a week of me getting back from holiday and having seen the 4 people that John had narrowed it down to, we made the decision. So within a week, we were lucky enough to, and I think we found the right person,
yes,
or firm.
a good cultural fit,
Yeah.
and the terms were
And it's full of
ideal.
young people, young, enthusiastic people, which is great.
It's interesting. It's got a couple of offices, so our office will continue in the city, and they'll close another one in the city. But they've also got suburban offices as well, and the head office out at Ringwood. So, but our clientele comes from all over Melbourne and Victoria, so it's not really an issue. It's a benefit having a number of offices.
Yeah, the benefit, and also with computers and that sort of thing, it's not that essential to be where you are, because you can deal with people anywhere. You can deal with them in Abu Dhabi if necessary, and we have.
Yeah.
So,
Did you ever get cold feet throughout the sale process?
Not in relation to this timing. In actual fact, we did look about a year and a half ago at potentially, or were negotiating with another firm which didn't proceed. So I guess in that situation there was a little bit of prior experience which was worthwhile in coming to the final fruition of selling the practice. So it's not an easy thing. You need to do your homework. We were fortunate that we have very thorough accounting records, and we have weekly and monthly and annual statements, so we were able to retrieve and provide a number of years, 4 years of
whatever
the
John
prior
asked
history,
for, we were able to give him.
and more.
Yeah.
But that was a good approach to be, that you've got that information at your fingertips, tax returns, organise the Section 52.
All of which is the beauty of computers, because it's all there. If it's all written down in ledgers and books and that sort of thing, it's very hard to extract, but it's all there. Push button A and it comes out. So that made it easier than a whole protracted way of doing things.
For other practitioners that are looking to sell their legal practice, what are some things they should know about the whole process and getting all their documents and things like that in order?
Well, they need to appreciate they've got to provide a Section 52 or statement regarding, which they get from their accountant, a statement about the business. But separately, as I say, if they can provide a number of prior years tax returns or partnership returns and financial figures, that stands you in good stead. And obviously, separately, given that you're looking at transferring of staff and information, you obviously need to have full staffing records available, saying what their salaries are and long service leave, holiday pay and so forth. So we were very fortunate. We had a fairly stable staffing situation. So one of the girls been staffed with us 20 years, and another one had been 16 years, another one 7 years. So that
So
really
we can't
helps.
be too bad. Or else we just don't let them go.
With keeping staff, what do you think it has been with keeping them for that long?
I think you've got to be considerate and flexible, and although we were a small office, if there was an issue with family and they needed time out, or they needed to get away a bit earlier, or we needed extra time to get some urgent matters done, well, it's important to have that flexibility with your staff. And I guess I think we paid very well, our staff, and we were considerate.
Anything from your point of view? that you
I
found
think
work well?
you covered that pretty well. And as I said before, we couldn't have been doing it all bad if they stayed with us for that long. Yes, so we had, like, out of 3 people, we had nearly 37 years of service between 3 people.
Continuity.
Which isn't too bad. And,
let alone our own continuity, because
Yeah.
obviously
we went through their weddings and their births and their
maternity leaves and
maternity
so
leaves and
Yeah.
the whole lot. So terrific.
so they were part of the family and we were part of their family.
Yeah.
How did they take the whole that you've sold and they're going into a new firm? How were they?
I think it's fine in that we're continuing on and obviously wanting to ensure the transfer of our clients and the staff into the new environment. And we, as I said, we're taking that into account when we were looking at selling the practice. So culturally, I think it was a good fit that we've found, including the younger experience that's going to be a benefit for them too.
Yeah, sure.
Now that you've sold and you're going to continue practicing,
Yes.
what else is on the cards? Anything? Any holidays?
Oh,
Anything else?
obviously, greater travel, although we've been taking that into account in recent years instead of working the 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So when you're
That
got
was
it
a
all
quiet week with
established.
7. You're not counting the nights.
No.
But,
So no travel and spending more time with the family and a bit more with seeing films and going to plays, doing things of interest.
How about yourself, Brian?
yeah, the same. Travel has been a good thing with me.
Yeah.
Been all over the place, most amazing places, and want to go to a few more.
Where's the next one?
End of the year, it's an Asian holiday in Vietnam and Cambodia and those sort of places. So that should be fun over Christmas. And, a bit different
Yeah,
for
that
Christmas, yeah. And then see what happens.
Is there any words of wisdom you want to share with, I suppose, the younger lawyers coming through, doing their degrees and in their initial stages of practicing law?
Well, I think it's just a matter of hard work, and when you're a young solicitor, it's very important that you try and glean as much of the knowledge and how things work as quickly as possible, so that you're then at the same level as other practitioners who have got a lot of years under their belt. So it's important from that side, and obviously they've got the benefit of modern technology, which helps, I think, catch up with those that have been out in practice for longer.
Because everything is online now. It's a different world, and I mean, just going through the sale process, we've got rid of a lot of paper, tons of paper, because everything is now available at the click of a button without looking through
Libraries.
Libraries are out. They're now digital libraries. And as for young people, I'd say just be enthusiastic. The clients, the people, that's your livelihood. And get involved with them. You don't have to, know about their families and what they like and what they do and what they want. And
Do that efficiently.
absolutely.
And I think the other thing is don't overcharge. If you leave a little bit in, you get that recommendation, and where you need to get volume of work in whatever area it is, and by being acknowledged as being a reasonable charging and good service will always stand you in good stead.
Ken, Brian, thank you for joining me today and congratulations once again on selling.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's lovely.
Now, Brian, Ken and I would love to hear from you. What is the biggest insight you're taking away from today's conversation? Comment and share below and let us know. If you like this episode, please subscribe to our channels and share this video with your friends. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Gatehouse Insights.